So slowly I started added running to it because, I'm still only giving like 20% effort, 50% effort.
Yeah.
And I slowly increased it. And as a trainer and as a coach now, that's where I try to start people exactly where I started, my boot camp and with training with the kids. I want to start them very slow, 30 days, just small increments and just build your way up with consistency. Because once you're consistent with it, there's no stopping you. Then
Yeah.
you can turn it up a notch on Tuesday, turn it back down on Wednesday, turn it back up on Saturday, run a 50K here, then run 2 miles, then another 50K. Like
Hmm.
there's no stopping you. And and you find this balance of workout and family and recovery and friendship. And so I learned that 2012 was the year that all that snowballed. And March was when I started my sobriety of 2012, so 8 years ago. And by November, I was doing my 5 minute workout the month of November. And December is when I started running, and I couldn't run a mile. I could not make it a half a mile. Again, I started out way too fast,
Hmm.
and I was an athlete. I was a football player. I ran track in high school. So I still had that in me, and I felt like I was that. But here we are, like 15 years later,
Yeah.
20 years later. I'm like, whoa, my knees are hurting, my ankles. And I
Hmm.
needed, I needed all that because when I train with people or I run with people and they tell me what's wrong with them, I've been there. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Or when someone is trying to lose weight, I know what it's like to work really hard, sweat really hard, and feel like you went nowhere. And aside from the 5 minute workout, I was doing jumping jacks, and I'm like, man, I'm a grown man. I should be lifting like 300 pounds,
Yeah.
but I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't lift weights. I was like almost embarrassed that I was doing jumping jacks. And I was doing push-ups on my knees. And I ran a half mile. I walked a half mile. I ran a half mile, and then I walked the last half mile. So I had this 2 mile route. And with the 5 minute workout and that 2 mile route, that was my challenge every morning. So I started this at 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's another reason I did this was so that I wouldn't take away from my family time. So I had a lot of selfish moves prior to me, finding fitness. So I wasn't going to let fitness be another selfish, like, I need me time. Come home from work and then ignore the kids, wife. I need me time. So 5 a.m. while everyone is asleep, 5 to 6, that's my window. And it still is my window. And that's why I encourage people to do it, especially if you have a family. And then it taught me something else. It taught me the discipline. No one wants to get up because you got to get up at 4, right? Or
Yeah.
4:30. No one wants to do that. So it sets the tone for your day. Um, I found out fasted cardio is amazing,
Mhm.
so I know nothing about that, but for a year I was doing fasted cardio. I'm like, that's why I lost 60 pounds, So I did all the things correctly because I humbled myself to start from the beginning, 5 minute workouts, jumping jacks, stay sober, just do what you can in today. So that's really, to answer your question, I tried to make that short. When my
Oh, feel
running
free to go on.
started and my fitness started. So 2012, that was November is when I started everything.
Yeah,
And
so
I just haven't stopped.
that's a super powerful story, especially because I mean, obviously, it's had such a profound effect on your life. But all it started with was 5 minutes, right? Just kind of your
Right.
daily accountability, your daily 5 minutes to start your day. But it's more about the consistency and building habits, right?
Yes.
Even outside of like fitness habits, I remember a story that stuck with me. I don't know when I read it, but reading about, making your bed first thing in the morning and how that becomes that first checklist of the day. And then all of a sudden the rest of your day gets better. I don't remember what inspirational video I watched when I watched that video. I've been doing it every day since. It makes such a big difference. And now like it goes just from that to dialing in an entire morning routine, right? Actually having, I stretch for 15 minutes in the morning and I read, and, I have a whole routine, and it sounds like you do as well, at starting out at 5, going on your run, doing your 5-minute workouts, and just slowly building. So that was the first thing I took away. The other one is, humbling yourself, because I actually went through a similar experience where I was once an athlete. Then I got into the corporate world and I gained a bunch of weight, then I had to lose it. And it's just so easy when you lose something and then you say, I used to be this, or I used to be that, then you start doubting yourself, and it's just all of this cycle of negative self-talk. And it's just so easy to like not want to go through it again. Right. But just being like, hey, this is where I am. Let's just start baby steps, run half a mile, walk half a mile, and just take it from here. And, that's the best one. Eventually all of those benefits compound. And then before you know it, even though it's like 30 days, maybe like, what, why aren't I ripped yet after 30 days? But like now, I mean, I bet the last 8 years seem like they went by like that now. Right.
Yeah.
So